How's it going, everybody? Back with another recap video here. Unfortunately, no background music this time with Supersonic. Also, I was totally wrong about my answers. I said 3 out of 4. It was definitely half, 2 out of 4. I don't know what I was thinking. It was Semper and V1 that ended up progressing through. So we got Group B today for our recap. G2 Optic, Furia, Corp, Faze, Club, and then Falcons Dig. They did not go in that order. I'm pretty sure Faze Club was second. And then Furia Corp was, Furia Corp was third. So there's some pretty crazy stuff that went down today. Overall, a little bit more predictable day, I would say, but also some things that kind of like tainted it a little bit. I'll get into in one of the particular series. But first up, talking about stuff, we've got our first match, which was, I think we started with Faze Club, which felt kind of iffy. So during this, there was actually a long delay to kind of address it right out of the gate. And I actually found out what was going on. So during the series, the club was winning. They were actually playing very well. Super close series. 2 overtimes back-to-back. 226. And at the end of game 2, there was another overtime. And in the middle of that series as well, there was a disconnect. And it was because Sipical, when he was on the kickoff, didn't go for the ball, so it was a free shot. So they hit a pause, they fixed it, they reset, they come back. Going into the overtime, it happened again, and we couldn't figure out why. There is a bug in Rocket League that isn't always 100%, but if you hold the boost button before the replay of the goal happens and you hold that, when it comes into the next kickoff, sometimes the boost will not activate. It will not happen. So that was what the disconnect bug was going on. So I had to spend a lot of time trying to recreate that in the back with the game logs to make sure that it was legitimate and the goal didn't stand. So after that ended up happening, we then ended up seeing things kind of go back to normal. So the difficulty with this is it does put kind of a taint on the series because the club at start is winning 3-2, 3-2. They've got momentum, everything's going on. And then we take like a 15-minute break. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people are going to kind of diminish the results of this, but there's not really anything they can do. Like, this is something that is, although unfortunate, they have to go into this and do this type of stuff to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Also, Gyro of Rogue was also in the front row, and they ended up borrowing his controller. So that's why the interview what it was, because Sipical's controller was causing issues. So that's who they said was the most impactful, or what the biggest change was that they made after their timeout. So after that, Faze then went on a win streak. They won 4 in a row, 3-1, 1-0, 2-1, 3-1. Very close series, very close fight from the club. And who knows how it would have went otherwise, but we can't think about the what-ifs. We can only think about what we actually got. And the big thing to note is that Club is not a pushover. They're a good team. As the 3rd seed in South America, they're playing still very well despite, having some struggles in the wild card. But to me, they're definitely a very solid team and a lot of respect gained for them. So Faze Clan ends up progressing. We then go into our second series, which was G2 versus Optic. I don't know how many people thought that this was going to go any other way, but a lot of us believe that this is probably the easiest one to predict with G2 over Optic. G2 ends up going 4-0, dominated most of the game. Chicago had a really crazy shot. And Optic did fight back a little bit. I mean, you're talking, 3 one-goal games? Like, it wasn't a complete blowout, but G2 looking like they are ready in championship form. So happy to see them not having the same results of the last event. Unfortunately for Optic, they're on the receiving end of it, find themselves in the lower bracket. After that, we then got Furia versus Corp, and a lot of us expected this one to be one of the better ones, I will say. I think the last 2 series were what a lot of people are anticipating, and it was scheduled accordingly to make sure that they slowly ramped up. So Furia Corp, we got South America #1 against Corp, which is, I think, number 4 in EU. I could be totally wrong on that. I think it's number 4. It sounds right. And Corp looked really hot out of wildcard, expecting them to be one of the favorites as well with how they've been playing. Nolly hitting his crazy shot that he did when he played in wildcard on the last day. So day off coming in against a team that hasn't played yet. And Corp comes out and they win 3-2 in overtime. From there, Furia really amped it up, and it felt like just the pressure, the offense of the team. A lot of card chants as well from the crowd. I got a couple things for the vlog, which I'm excited to show you guys when we get back and put that video together. But just the crowd having a good time and everybody really chanting. A lot of people in favor of Furia, which was pretty impressive. So it just goes to show how much, and that's kind of everybody in the area and I talked about, is how much the minor regions, which I would refer to as expansion regions now, how much growth they've had in the past few years, especially even with the time off during COVID and everything. So yeah, really impressed with Furia, continuing their Gamers 8's dominance and showing up. Jan obviously cracked as always. But I think Card got a lot of attention for me on this one. And obviously Kaio does a great job of setting people up. So glad to see Card getting his involvement, but they do end up taking it down. Even a timeout for KC couldn't stop them. 3-2, 2-1, 3-1, 3-1, and then the 2-3 in the first one. So a couple one-goal games. Very close series. K-Corp shouldn't be upset. They've got another life still, and I think they're favored in their lower matchup. Last but not least, we then had Falcons and Dig, the one we were all looking forward to. Is Dig going to bring consistency like they did last time? Are we going to get the same results we had at the tail end of Wildcard, or are we going to get something else? And for Falcons, are you guys going to continue to be the team that we saw you guys be in Spring Major? And the answer is yes. Falcons is that good still. They look so good, which is pretty crazy. I got to talk to Matt a little bit. I fist bumped like TRK and those guys when they walked by. Very shy unless they're talking to Johnny, pretty much. But Ahmad did recognize me when we were outside by the loading docks when we were getting our Uber, and it perked up a little bit. So cool to see that from Ahmad. I talk to him every once in a while. But yeah, the guys played well. Dignitas also put up a good fight. A lot of really good moments, some good pass plays and development overall. This one again is I don't really have a stake in it. Like, I'm not really rooting for anyone in particular. I do want the expansion regions to perform well because it's only good for the scene. But as for Dignitas, I felt like once they started to get beat, they kind of mentally took a step back. I don't know if it's just a communication thing or what's going on. You would have to ask Nick. Again, he's the only one that can provide true insight, but it definitely felt like something was off. Based upon like body language and stuff, like the energy from them was a little bit lower. It didn't feel like they were as locked in and ready to go as they were in the earlier games. So it was a back and forth affair though, despite saying that. 3-1 in favor of Dig, 4-0 in favor of Falcons, 2-1 in favor of Dig, and then Falcons won 2 in a row, one of those being in overtime. And then there was a timeout by Dig and they couldn't close it out. So you're talking, it was 2-1 in favor of Dignitas, and then they closed it out 3 in a row. So good performance by Falcons. They look hot. Not a team I would want to fight in the bracket. Which is luckily not a problem for some of the teams, but it does give us our final brackets if we want to take a look at those. In Group A, we have Moist Semper, BDS V1, G2 Furia, and Faze Falcons in the uppers of their groups. I'm pretty sure that's what the matches are for tomorrow. Tomorrow is all the teams that are, no matter what, getting a chance to play again, because they want to make sure that on Friday, when people attend in person, that no matter what, there was going to be the ability for teams to watch their team. They wanted to make sure that this weekend, if people come for the final 3 days, no matter what, you get to see them compete. So it is confirmed. Day 3 schedule, which is Thursday, is going to be Moist versus Semper, Faze versus Falcons, G2 versus Furia, and then V1 versus BDS in that order. Moist starting at 11 a.m. So those will be a lot of fun. That is what the schedule is for tomorrow. But for those lower bracket matches, which will come later on, those lower bracket matches will be on the 12th. You've got Space Station and Endpoint, Renegades, NRG, and then you got Optic, K-Corp, and the Club and Dignitas. Some of those I like a lot more than others, but I've got some pretty good favorites in a majority of those. So we'll see how things go. People obviously have that extra day to bounce back, make adjustments. I'm curious how the G2 Furia and Faze Falcons series are going to go, but we got some really exciting matches tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff across the board. Great meeting everybody in person again. A lot of people coming up asking for photos and pictures, all that kind of stuff. Make sure if you guys have those, tweet them at me. I love to see those and keep them in a folder for like memory purposes and stuff, because it's really cool, and show like friends and family and stuff. But yeah, it was awesome. A lot of people starting to show up. John Salmon getting in tonight at like 6, so we're probably gonna go hang out with him for a little bit. After we shoot some content with V1, we got to go to like a barbecue place and do like a recap with the guys. So it's been really fun so far. I gotta be careful because we still have 4 days left, and my voice I gotta make sure I still have by the end. But it's been quite the experience. Hospitality and stuff from like the people at Psyonix, like Devin, the community manager and stuff like that, has been absolutely fantastic. So it's been cool to just see people and hang out. And in the pavilion, it's been very intimate. Like, there's not really a whole lot of like closed off area and stuff, so everybody's just kind of mingling with everybody. People are being super respectful and watch the games, which has been really fun. So if I got to talk to you or say hi to you or anything like that, greatly appreciate you guys coming up and showing your support. And if you guys could do so, and you guys do enjoy the content, consider giving a like and hitting subscribe, as it helps me out greatly. Any questions and stuff you guys have, I'll try to answer. I peeked a little bit, and you guys wanted to know what happened with the club situation, so I found out stuff about that. But yeah, any questions you guys have, stuff like that, let me know. Otherwise, in the description, links to the bracket so you guys can follow along. And we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.